I have Rob and Nick with me, who are part of Canva and who are going to demonstrate you what you can do actually with Canva. So it's a great pleasure to welcome you guys. Hi, Rob. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Hi there.
Hey, we're great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. So I have to admit it. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago, when I was doing my first CV, I used Canva, and I got the job. I mean, it worked, and it was very easy to do. So I've always recommended the tool to friends of mine who are not designers because I really think you can do some great things with Canva. So I will leave it up to you because we have 25, 30 minutes for your session and for you to really show people what they can do with Canva. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the Q&A section, not in the chat. Otherwise, we will lose them. So please make sure you do that. And Rob and Nick, it's you on the stage now.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We love hearing stories like that, by the way. We're really excited. We'd love to show you what we've been cooking up at Canva really over many years of hard work to make creating and delivering presentations truly enjoyable. And we're going to make the session really practical. So we're going to spend almost all of it in Canva showing you how millions of people are using Canva as really their secret weapon for creating presentations. So I am Rob, and I'm Canva's head of products, and really excited to be joined by Nick today, who is one of our design educators. So for those not familiar with Canva, it is a design and publishing tool that makes it really easy to design absolutely anything for free. And we're going to show you just a small taste of that today. To give you a bit of background, we have a very simple mission at Canva, and that is really to empower the world to design. And the reason we care so deeply about this is that by making it super simple, and I mean like really crazy easy for people everywhere to communicate visually and unlock their creativity, we believe we can help them achieve their goals. And we've seen this happen time and time again, just like getting a job. And some of these goals are small, but they're really meaningful. So people are using Canva for things like designing one of their kids' birthday invitations or a welcome home poster for a loved one. And some of these goals are truly world-changing. Canva is currently being used by over 100,000 not-for-profit organizations, including some of the largest, like the Red Cross and Habitat for Humanity, the World Wildlife Fund, UNICEF, and they're using Canva for free to create marketing and communications collateral to raise funds and draw attention to critical causes. Presentations are no different. Canva is currently being used by millions of people all over the world to create presentations. And these presentations are being used to take their business to the next level, to really tell the story of their products, to educate their class. We've got millions of teachers using Canva, and even to pitch their startup. And some of the world's largest organizations, such as these on the screen, are using Canva really because they understand the value of Canva over traditional presentation tools. And what they want to do is help their teams both save time, but also stand out. And in fact, over 600 presentations are currently being created with Canva every single minute. There have been hundreds of millions so far. What we really care about, though, are not the huge number of people using it, but more that every single presentation, and all of you who've created presentations will know this, that each presentation tells like a really unique story, and each one represents a person or a team. And we love hearing from the people who are using Canva to tell their stories. These are some great tweets we've seen, some just from today, like Jones. I do have a personal favorite when I was looking through Twitter earlier today, which was this one from Ryan. I won't read it out loud, but I'll leave it there. And what I wanted to do now was hand over to Nick, and he's going to really walk you through Canva, show you how it's used and how to take really just up your presentation game. So over to you, Nick.
Thanks so much, Rob. Really appreciate it. And I'm super excited to be lucky enough to take you through part of the product today. We'll see how we go. There's obviously not enough time to show you absolutely everything, but I wanted to do a bit of a walkthrough of Canva presentations in 3 parts. So we're going to look at starting inspired, collaborating with ease, and engaging your audience. We're also going to have some tips and resources to share towards the end. So yeah, let's jump in. So starting inspired, with thousands of beautiful templates, or literally hundreds of thousands now, and a deep content library, presentations don't just make taking the first step easy, they actually give you a real head start. And with Canva, you never have to start with a blank page. You actually start the presentations the way you want to finish them. In addition to this, we've actually launched about 75 brand new company templates to our template library. So we have some really great stuff in there now for businesses like clean digital, professional dark, business hip, bold modern, smart corporate, and there's so many more. In fact, it's probably a little easier if I jump in and show you how to find them rather than sit here and talk about it. So let's do exactly that. I'm going to flip over now to the Canva editor, and we're going to have a quick look through the homepage and locating templates. So this is the Canva homepage, and there's obviously a lot you can find here. And if you want to hone in a specific template category, you can do that really easily here in our top header. So I'm going to click on presentations, and this shows us a whole bunch of different presentation types, not just normal presentations, but we have mobile first presentations, brainstorm presentations, and even talking presentations, which we'll get into a little bit later. So I'm going to come up here to our search bar and search for, well, come and click here, company presentations. And this is how you can find all of the latest templates that we've released on the library. Some of them are actually animated, like this one here. Let's have a quick preview. So this gives you a little bit of motion kind of built into the template, which we know really helps with engagement. So it's all set up and ready for you to use. The other fantastic presentation type we find a lot of people using now, especially in the remote kind of working environment, are brainstorms. So brainstorms are really great for collaborating remotely as a team, doing mood boards, and even things like group cards, team retros. We use them all the time at Canva, and we're finding it's one of our most popular doc types. So we'll get to have a look at that in a moment as well. All right, so let's come back over here to the main presentation. I thought it'd be a great place to start here with what makes a good presentation. I'm not going to spend too much time going into a lot of design principles, but there's really 3 main ones that I wanted to call out here. So the first one is keeping it short and sweet. So what this means is, where possible, you want 1 point per page. So a good presentation is always short and to the point. Making it visual means show, don't tell. So where possible, use a lot of visuals and don't use a lot of long blocks of text. It's pretty boring, and quite often it distracts people from you, the presenter, which is obviously the most important part. And the last thing is create consistency. So you want a cohesive look and feel, and you want to apply a similar treatment to all of your graphics. And if you can, use a brand kit to keep all of your fonts and colors consistent, which I'm going to show you in a moment as well. So those are some quick tips. So let's jump into Canva again, and I'm going to choose a template this time and show you how to get started. So another way to locate the insane amount of templates that we have here is to come up to the global nav up the top here. And you can see here we've got all sorts of things like social media, personal, business, marketing, education. It's ongoing. So I'm going to come over here to business and click on presentations. And so from here, you can see our entire presentations template library with a lot of different tags to help narrow down your search. So in this instance, I'm going to maybe try business. And so once again, I've got a lot of different presentations here. I'm just going to choose this one just to get us started, which looks like a corporate food template. And that's going to bring us into the editor. So Canva's editor is really unique and really easy to use. We try to make things as user-friendly as possible. So you can see here we have a template with multiple pages over here on the left. And my current document has all of those pages applied to it. So you can see down the bottom here I have a page view where I can sort of flip through and see all the pages in my presentation. So this thumbnail view makes it really easy for me to rearrange pages. We also have a really fantastic grid view here. If we want to do a little bit more complex rearranging, maybe I want to take my first 3 pages here and move them all into a new spot. That's super easy to do. So the cool thing with Canva is you're not limited to one template once you choose. So of course we can mix and match. So maybe I want to choose a different starting page for my presentation here. So I can come into this one and maybe I'm going to add this first page to my presentation. So now all the rest of my pages are the existing presentation and I've got a new template on the front page. I can also apply to all 15 pages, which will update all of the pages in my presentation. Down here you can see they've all switched over. All right, fantastic. So I've got a good start here. Something else that's important to remember is Canva actually automatically saves as you're working, so you never have to go and save. It'll all happen automatically in the background. If you're a little nervous because your internet connection isn't rock solid, you can come here and choose File and then Save to manually save as well, but it will happen automatically as you're working. All right, so I've got my presentation here. I want to actually apply some of my brand assets to it. So I want my fonts and my colors applied to this whole presentation. So we have in Canva Pro, we have something called Brand Kit, which makes it really easy for you to maintain all of those assets in one place so you can apply them to all of your templates. So I'm going to come over here to the Styles tab, and you can see here I've got my Brand Kit typography and my Brand Kit colors. So with one click, I can update this presentation with my fonts and another click to do my colors. And I can just click again to shuffle through that combination until I find a combination that I like. So it's looking a little better. Next, I'm going to choose a photo. So there's literally millions of images and graphics available for our users to use. So I'm going to grab a different photo here and just drag this into this template. Okay, that's looking good. So already I've started with a template, but I've got a very different looking outcome here. I'm just going to make a little edit here. Maybe we can change the line height of that text to make it a little bit more neat. So the next thing I want to show you here, I know in the last presentation we had a little look at how to remove the background from images and also even apply your image to a mock-up. So we actually have probably, I think, the easiest way to do this in the industry at the moment. So we have one-click background remover and one-click mockups, which I'm going to show you how to do now. So in the Effects tab up the top here, our background remover tool, which is a Canva Pro feature, with one click, it does some pretty nifty algorithm and a complex work on that image, and it'll essentially clip it out perfectly from its background. So there we go. So that's ready to go. I can just simply resize this to get a bit of a different composition on my presentation. I don't think I need this little diagonal line anymore. Great. So I'll just show you now how to maybe turn this into a mock-up. So we do have a really amazing integration with Smart Mockups, which allows you to add any of your images or any elements that you've got, any graphics. You can put them into a mock-up of a device or even a product. So in this instance, maybe I'll take a smartphone and we'll see if how that works. So again, all of this is just one click to apply these. So there we go. I've got a really nice mock-up of a phone with my image inside of it. There's also some settings in here if you want to adjust the positioning and things like that to make it sort of sit correctly. But it's all super easy to do within one click. So I'm going to come to the next page here. Another really widely used feature is our rich media integrations. So a lot of you might need to create a presentation where you're embedding things like videos and maybe even GIFs. So we actually have a whole app library here of different integrations. So you can put in things like a map or Instagram feed, or of course you can integrate YouTube as well. So I might actually just take a YouTube link here from another video. Let's copy the URL. So all you need is the YouTube URL. Let's come back to my presentation. And I don't even need to install the app. I can just literally just paste that in. And as soon as I Command V paste that in, that's actually going to embed as a fully interactive video in my presentation. So that's ready to play.
Working in teams on.
So that's really cool. Another commonly used feature here is the ability to integrate with Giphy. So you can, of course, grab GIFs really quickly and easily from here. Let's take this wonderful cat GIF. And you can stretch those out and make those the background of your presentation. But it's just really handy to have those integrations right there without having to go fishing and looking for different assets to add to your presentation. It's all integrated right there. All right, so I'm going back to the main presentation here, and we'll keep going into the next section. So collaborating with ease. When we design, we try to get in the flow. It's like that magical place where everything comes together. So starting inspired helps put you in the flow, and our easy-to-use design tools help keep you there. Canva also empowers really fluid group effort, so it enables teams to bring ideas to life through digital brainstorming and working together in real time. With frictionless collaboration, team members can easily give feedback and contribute. So you can stay in the flow and always present your best, no matter how or where your team works. So let's have a look at how to use our simultaneous collaboration features and other ways to work within Canva. So I'm going to switch back over to the main editor here. Now, Rob doesn't know this, but I've actually got a new presentation that I'm planning to present to him. It's my big idea, and it's really an idea to make people love Canva. So I actually thought the best way to start this presentation would be to use a bit of data. I think that's where most people start. So I've got this latest data here from a very serious, important recent study of our users. And I'm not quite sure actually if this data is correct. So I'm just going to come in here and add a comment. So if I write at Rob to let him know, and tag Rob in this comment, I can also assign it to him as a task. That's going to now be assigned, and a notification will go out to Rob so he can join this presentation and start working with me.
Going to go take a look right now.
Fantastic. While Rob's jumping into this presentation, I'm going to go to the next page here, which is, oh, there he is. You can see he's actually popped up in here in the top menu bar. So now I know he's working on the presentation. So I've got this next slide here, which is kind of like a live brainstorm, which is really something I want to get a lot of input and work with my team on. So I can come up here and share this with a whole bunch of different people. So maybe we'll invite Jess. And Rob's already in there and myself. So now there's 3 of us that are invited to the presentation. And we're all ready to start working on this one. So let me go back and see how Rob's gone on our chart over here. Still working. So I'm actually going to add in a brainstorm ID here for a most requested feature. Let's put in.
Yeah, Nick, I just checked that chart. The data was slightly off, but I've updated it. It's looking good.
Okay. Okay, let me go back over here and have a look. Oh, okay, wow, that's better. Okay, so we've got the correct data here. I might actually just edit this one. Let's maybe turn it into a bar chart, because we love graphs that go up and to the right at Canva. So I think that looks a lot better. Fantastic. Let's go back over to our brainstorm here. Okay, so Rob is working on a new comment here. So what's one of the most requested features you've heard recently?
One that I really liked was people wanted to play games in Canva. Let me give that a
Play games.
give that a go.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm gonna give that a thumbs up for sure. That's definitely something I think is worthwhile. Maybe we can even move this whole thing over into our favorites over here. That's really good. Okay, awesome. So we've got a really good collab going on here. I'm going to switch back over to the main presentation here, and we'll come back and show you how to present this in just a moment. So the final section here is really about engaging your audience. So the question is, what is the opposite of death by PowerPoint? We've all heard of that phrase. Well, we think Canva's live tools are the answer. because they help facilitate two-way conversation. Canva Live encourages real-time interaction through comments and reactions. And I think one of the coolest things is for nervous speakers or people who don't really like presenting live, they can use a talking presentation, which means with just one take, your presentation can keep working for you. So let's take a look at how some of this works. So I'm going to switch back into my presentation here. So we're getting there now. We've got some new data. I'm going to jump in and actually present my presentation. So up here in the top corner, I'm going to hit present. That'll bring me into my full screen mode. And you can see here, I've got Canva Live open. So this little button down the bottom will open and close our Canva Live feature and allow us to start a new session. So let me start that now. And this will open a unique code, which all you have to do is visit this link, canva.live, type in this code, and we can start interacting live, with my audience, and hopefully receive some reactions as well. So we'll see if Rob jumps in there in a moment, and maybe he can help me out and let me know how I'm doing. All right. Oh, I love that animation on that chart. That looks really cool. And we're getting over here into the most requested features, obviously playing games. Oh, look, there we go. So I've got a comment here from Anonymous. I'm assuming that's Rob. Very good ideas. Excellent. So it's funny that you've mentioned playing games in Canva, because I actually had an idea. This is something that I wanted to announce exclusively to Present to Succeed today. It's a brand new feature. No one's ever seen this before. In fact, it requires a bit of a pizzazz, a little bit of anticipation. So I'm going to press D on the keyboard. That'll give me a drum roll. Introducing the latest Caterpillar game that we have in Canva. So yes, this is a real game. You can find it in Canva. And Rob, it's a bit of an Easter egg, so I'll tell you after the presentation how to find it. I'm sure you really love this, and it's going to really engage our users. So that's really cool. All right, let me head out of this one. I'm going to close down my presentation. And I want to show you how to do a talking presentation next, because obviously sometimes we have teams in different parts of the world. Maybe we can't all join at once. So I'm going to record a talking presentation next to show you how that works. So if we come into the Publish menu here and choose Present and Record, this is going to bring us into Canva's Talking Presentation Recording Studio. So here I am. I've got my camera and my microphone ready to select, and I can simply just start recording. I'm not actually going to do this right now because I think it might mess with our settings because we're already in the middle of a presentation, but this will allow me to record as I'm presenting my slides, and then of course share a link out or download that as a movie, which I can share around to my team afterwards, which is fantastic. So go back to editing here. So lots of really great ways for remote teams to work asynchronously, which is obviously super important right now in the current trends in the workplace. All right, so that brings us pretty much to the end of the demo. I've got some fantastic resources here which I wanted to share with you. For those of you who are interested in learning a little bit more about what we've just gone through, the first page I want to show you is our Create page. So this is kind of a bit of a summary of all the different features that we've just looked at and how to get started, and also access to some of those newer templates and various features. So that's canva.com/create/presentations. Another really amazing resource that I know a lot of our users really love is this one here. It's canva.com/business-resources. And this is where you can access lots of marketing toolkits. So you might have heard Canva is a real hit amongst small businesses and marketers, and they really love being able to set up all of their marketing assets and brand within Canva. So you can actually choose one of these kits, which are kind of a whole template set created just for you to use with your business. So they're really cool. And the last resource here is something that's dear to my heart. This is our design school. So we have lots of really great courses and tutorials to help you get the most out of Canva and really leverage it as a design tool. So jump on there if you want to learn a little bit more about Canva presentations. So one last thing that we need to leave you with, we're actually going to be offering everyone at Present to Succeed a free extended trial of Canva Pro. Check your inboxes because we're going to be in touch with you after the conference, and you should be able to access that from the email. So thank you so much for listening. I think we've got a few minutes left over to do a quick Q&A. So I'll open it up to questions.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for this session. There was a lot of action going on in the chat, and a lot of people are sharing stories with Canva and how much I think people have seen already how much Canva has grown. For example, there was a story that someone used to design their T-shirts with Canva back in the day. So now you can obviously order T-shirts from Canva as well. So a lot of progress, and to be honest, some of the features I didn't know as well, so I just quickly wrote down a few things to try out later on. There are a few questions here. One which I think is maybe Nick would be able to answer that one, or I think you both would be able to answer that one, but Nick was talking about it. So can you actually record the presentation just with the voice, without the camera?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you can select to have camera and microphone when you initially start, and obviously you can just turn off your camera and record voice only. No problem.
Okay, perfect. And then another, which is a little bit more towards security. What happens if you want to use sensitive data in your presentation? How can you make sure that it's secure in your presentation?
Yeah, I can take that one. So presentations are all private by default. So Canva is used by some of the largest organizations in the world. It's also ISO compliant. It's also COPPA and FIRMA compliance that can be used with in schools with some of the most sensitive data, which is kids' information. So it's been certified by sort of globally for those uses. But the main thing is that they are all Canva presentations are private by default. So until you choose to actually make it public or share a link with someone else, you as the creator is in complete control. You can share it with one person, with your team, or you could put it online if you choose. But it's totally up to you, and that's with our free account.
Perfect. Thank you, Rob. So since we're a little bit out of time, I really want to thank you for doing this session. I think it was a more than great overview of what Canva can do. Just want to mention once more that Canva are also sponsoring Present to Succeed. So thank you also for that one, because this event won't be possible without our sponsors. If you want to claim also your 30-day free trial to Canva Pro, you can go to their booth, go and explore their booth, because there are some awesome videos there as well. Rob, Nick, I don't know if you guys are going to stick around more, because I know you're in Australia, so probably it's very already late on your end. But if you do so, we'll be happy to have you. And if people have some questions, they could reach out to you.